Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of After School Toys, and we are talking about Masters of the Universe all through the month of April. And today we're going to focus on classic good guys. These were He-Man's buddies, the people he needed when he got into trouble. We're going to start off with Zodak here. Zodak's coolest feature was this awesome helmet. It was very retro, even though it's futuristic at the same time. Make that make sense for you. It's kind of a robot type of helmet. It's very cool. But he had this flat chest piece on here with a cool symbol on it. And he had a gun. There wasn't a lot to this figure. But if you notice, he also has the same styling of Skeletor. We talked about that in the other video. How these figures are used over and over again. The same thin protrusions as well. And a very, very hairy chest. So that was Zodak, one of He-Man's buddies. Okay, up next, the man himself, Man-at-Arms. Also known as Duncan, minus the mustache, if you remember that in the cartoons. This was Duncan. Man-at-Arms was He-Man's most trusted friend, if you don't want to count Orko. And he came with some cool armor here. He had an arm piece that buckles on, as well as a leg shield here that also buckles on. He came with a mace, as you can see, and he was kind of the security guy for He-Man. He had a pretty cool helmet with some really nice detailing in it. Had the yellow circuitry around it with little red rivets. Very cool. And then, of course, he could kind of put his head down in here, I guess, for protection. Now protect the front of him. So there is Man-at-Arms, aka Duncan. We'll stand him next to Zodak. Stratos. Now Stratos here is missing his wings on his arms, but Stratos' coolest feature was he could fly. And that was it. He could fly. Kind of like the Birdman. He had an odd looking face. That's all I'm going to say about that. Can't tell if he's supposed to be partly human or what, but that is Stratos. And then he had like a little rocket pack on his back here that could help him fly as well. As you'll see Stratos in a lot of cartoons in the He-Man series. There you go. And then the much loved, the much talked about, the much made fun of Ram-Man. Ram-Man was the idiot of the He-Man's friends. He just was. In the cartoon he was kind of dumb when he talked. But he has a weird breastplate as well. Don't get that for sure. But anyways, cool belt with a skull on it. Of course, he had an armored head. And no articulation in his arms other than they could turn like that. And no articulation at all in the feet. There's a good reason for that. That is because Ram-Man, if you push this button, could ram. Just like that. So there's He-Man's buddy. And he had an axe. If you took the axe out, couldn't really fit any other weapon in. So Ram-Man's only job was to knock things over. And he did that quite well. I love Ram-Man. You always got a spot in my heart, buddy. Alright, so there are the classic good guys. These are the ones you wanted to get when you got He-Man figures. These are the ones you wanted backing you up in your battles against Skeletor and his baddies, which we're going to look at coming up soon. So there's a short and sweet episode of AfterSchoolToys.com. What do you think of these figures? I think they're pretty cool. Do they hold up? Well, does anything He-Man really hold up nowadays? But we still love them because they're part of our history. You can check out more at myafterschooltoys.com, and please subscribe because we got tons of more 80s toys coming right here on our channel. And until next time, as always, long live the 80s.